I had to find these viral stocking holders. I was able to find 2 of them on Walmart. These are so cute. They look so high end. I'm gonna be placing these on my mantle. Now, what stockings am I gonna put on my mantle? I wanted to keep it a little bit neutral this year. I found these stockings by My Texas House. They're really pretty, but they have a little bit of gold glitter to them. Now, I love to do hang tags with names, but to do something a little bit different this year, I'm gonna add on photos. So we wanted to personalize my stockings with photos. Do you guys remember my Sprocket printer? I've been printing so many pictures off of there. You can print 2x3 photos on the Sprocket printer. So I'm gonna go into my phone, find my favorite photos of my daughters, and then I'll print them out. I will link to where you can pick up the Sprocket down below in the description box, along with any of the items I'm showing you in today's video. Now, to make a frame for my little pictures, you don't have to do a lot. I picked up this gift bag and I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna use it as a backing for my photos. Once I figure out where I want it, I'm gonna attach my picture on with some glue dots, and then I'm gonna cut it out to make the paper look like a tag. All right, so I think that turned out really cute. I'm gonna attach these to my stockings, but I have to do the same thing with my other picture. All right, let's put our stockings together. I'm gonna attach my photo labels using a little bit of twine. So I'm just going to put a hole at the top of my tag. I'll try to do it in the center. Now I'm gonna lace through my twine. So I really wanna add in this ribbon, so I'm just gonna use the twine to attach it to my hanging piece here. So I'll just cut off a little bit of twine and I'm gonna tie it around. Doesn't have to be perfect, just do a little double knot. And then I'll trim off any excess. I'm just gonna tie a little bit of this neutral ribbon around the top here just to give it a little something extra. So I have the ribbon on, now I just need to tie it in a knot up here. All right, so I'm gonna figure out how long I want the ribbon to be, and then I'm just gonna fold it in half like this and cut towards the middle to make it look like that. Here's one of my decorating tricks you can try with your stockings. So when your stockings are sitting out on your mantle, to make them look a little bit more full, you can buy some picks. These are so gorgeous, and I'm gonna add one of these to each of my stockings. When I saw these large paper trees on Walmart, I got so excited, I had to pick them up. Now they come in a couple of colors. I went with these green ones. So this has Velcro tabs on either side. So I'm just gonna open it up and Velcro it together. Now this one is another tree, 47 inches tall. This one was 35, this one's 47. So this one has 2 pieces to it. Start with this one, and we're just going to open it up and put it together with the Velcro. Okay, this is the top piece. So I'm gonna set this top piece down on here. Now I have to tell you, these went together so easily. I think I'm gonna move my ottomans. Now, if you don't need them to be this big, although I think they're so cool, you can get a little tabletop set. These actually go together easier. They have magnets instead of the Velcro. I love that. How cute are these? I love having wall art out for the holidays, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on it because it's only out for a month or 2. So let me show you an inexpensive hack you can try. You want to pick up one of these cute gift bags. I found all of these really cute ones in black and white. They were super affordable. The other thing I got are these frames. So I got one frame that was 12 by 16. I also got an 8 by 10 frame and a 4 by 6 frame. Let me show you how to turn these into holiday wall art. So this bag is going to be for my larger frame, and then for my 8 by 10, I'm gonna try to put the Santa on here. And then I know this bag is a little bit bigger, but I think that I'm going to focus on the top of this tree for my 4x6 frame. So let's start with the larger one. And I'm just going to take out this piece in here because that's gonna be my template to cut out the bag. I'm gonna put the template down. I'll just use a pencil to draw where I need to cut out. Now that I have it cut out, I'm just gonna place it into my frame. Hopefully I cut it the right size. Now the bag that I'm gonna be using for the 8x10 frame is a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to put my template down and position it. I wanna make sure I keep this part of Santa's hat. So I think I'm gonna put it right here and I'll just do the same steps. I'll just draw around it with a pencil. Now I'll just cut it out. Okay, let's work on our smaller one. I'm going to concentrate on getting the top of the tree. All right, I think this is gonna be perfect for my tree. I'm gonna cut it out and then we'll add it to our frame. Decorating your stairs for the holidays can be a bit intimidating. Let me show you my quick tips so you can do it as well. You're gonna need to start with a garland. This is one that I got on Walmart. It's the 9-foot Sonoma cypress garland. So the first thing you're gonna do is just stretch your garland out. Now, I don't really like to fluff it until I put it on the mantle, but I'm gonna start by stretching it out. And then I'm gonna find the side that has this little hook. This is gonna go at the top of my stairs, and using a zip tie, I'm gonna attach it to my stairs. I wrap this circle part behind my railing, put a zip tie through it, and then pulled tightly to hold it in place. I'm gonna cut off the excess part here, and then we'll come back to this. So I determined where the center of my stairs were. Now I'm going to make a little bit of a loop here, and then I'm going to zip tie this on. All right, so we're about halfway there with adding the garland on. I have it at the top, right here. Now I need to do it down here. So I'm gonna make my loop come up about the same distance that I did right there. And you guessed it, I'm gonna put a zip tie at the bottom. So this is a wire garland, so I need to go through and fluff out each and every branch to make it look nice. I'm gonna get a step ladder so I can really get up high here and make sure it looks great from the front. So when you get here, take one of your branches and wrap it around where you put that zip tie. So I bought the exact same garland and I want to add it on top of the existing garland to make it look nice and full. So basically we're gonna repeat all of those same steps with just adding on an additional garland. I put the center zip tie on. Now I wanna go back and see if I can fluff them and kind of mix them together to make sure I put it at the right size before I keep going. So I'm gonna fluff this one out the exact same way, but I am gonna take both of the branches and kind of twist them together so it looks like I only did one garland. Take some of the branches from the back garland and twist them up to the front. Now when I'm putting together a stair garland or for my mantle, I rarely just do one garland. You can use this to create so much more texture by putting on different types of garlands, or you can do one like this where I'm just making it look really full with 2 garlands. I do recommend spend time on this step because this is gonna make your garland look so much better when you add things like your ribbon or any ornaments. I found this ribbon by My Texas House. It's this gorgeous red velvet. It's a 5-inch wide ribbon. So I want to create a really pretty bow right here with long tails. I'm also going to do another one in the middle and then one up top. So I'm going to find the center of my piece. Now because these spools were 20 feet long, I cut a piece that is 10 feet long. So I'm going to tie it around my garland where the wire is. All right, so I want to tie a really good knot right here. It's important to have our pretty side facing out because this is the pretty side and this side we don't want to show. So I'm gonna create a loop with my pretty side and then I'm gonna wrap it around and then I'm going to come through to create my bow. Now as I'm doing this, I'm gonna pull my loops out. But I can always twist and turn things, like right here in the middle, as long as you don't pull it super tight. See how I can adjust that? So I don't want my bow to be really big, just good size. Now see here, I have the back showing. We gotta flip that so we can see the front. Now I like my ribbon to kind of go into my garland. So I'm gonna move it so that it's part of this garland. Now I'm not gonna cut it off because I wanna make sure that I can make them all about the same size. I think the bows are looking awesome. I'm gonna trim them right about at my stair level, and I'm gonna trim at an angle. Let's put together some bells for my stair garland. I found these adorable indoor-outdoor cups on Walmart. These are gonna be the base of my bell. You're also going to need some wood rings. So I cut my wood rings in half, and then I'm gonna use E6000 to attach the wood rings to the bottom of my cups. You wanna use a generous amount of E6000. Let this dry for several hours, then you're going to spray paint these bells. Now, since you're making them, you can do any color you want. You could go gold or red. I'm gonna be using the color Sand Dollar. This is one of my favorite neutral spray paints, and I'll do 2 coats on all the bells. I also wanted to add in a stone texture spray. Now that my bells are dry, I'm gonna add dowel rods in the center of each of the bells. You're gonna add a generous portion of hot glue on the end of your dowel rod, and then you're gonna place it in the center of your bell. And I'll repeat that on the other bells. Now to attach these bells to my garland, I want to use twine, but I don't know exactly how high I want them to be. So for now, I'm just going to take my twine and loop through a longer piece. That way when I put them on the garland, I can adjust them. So I'm going to attach my bells down here and I'm just going to hold them where the height that I want them, and then I'll tie them around the wire. To finish off my stairs, I'm gonna add on my red nutcracker. Now, I bought this last year on Walmart, but they have it again this year. Here's how my stairs turned out. Hey, you're watching my second channel, Liz Fenwick Deals. If you like what you see here, make sure you subscribe so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. And if you're looking for even more deals, you can join my Facebook group at Liz Fenwick Deals, or you can follow me on Instagram at Liz Fenwick Deals.